Mhm.
How do you relate to your, I guess, I am statement? How do you empower yourself and come to that to that place?
How do I empower myself?
I guess, where are you drawing the energy from, if you will, if that's the simpler way of
Right.
asking?
Um, the best way to answer that, like sometimes it's really hard to explain stuff, right? And find
Sure.
words to describe it. But the best way that I can describe it, and I talk about this a lot, the answers are not up here. The answers are from the neck down. So
Mm,
it's in my body. I
mm,
feel it in my body. Um, and so I've just, that's such a good question. Yeah, I think that, that's why that for me the healing work is so important because I was so disempowered and lived the
mm,
role of victim. Yes,
right.
I was a victim at one point in my life, but it was the story I knew and it was the story I lived out long after I was a victim. And so
Mm,
to make that shift, and I really, I really think that one of the defining moments in my life happened about 5 or 6 years ago on a spiritual retreat. And the question was posed, and it's one of the scariest questions I've ever had to answer for myself, which is, who am I without the story?
yeah.
Who am I if I let the story go?
Yeah.
And it scared the bejeebers out of me. I
Hmm.
didn't know because I didn't know. And
It's releasing that identity,
correct.
in a
So that,
sense.
right. Well, absolutely. Because that's what I identified as, right?
Hmm.
We're all walking around identifying as something.
Right.
And that's why, if we can stop identifying as these titles and these labels and these imprints and the conditioning and the stamps and start peeling away those layers, getting curious and shedding all the conditioning, and then we can get back in touch with the truth of who and what we are, and that inner knowing that wants to, that's always speaking to us, that wants us to hear and listen to it, because that's our higher self, right? It just
Right.
wants us to.
Right.
And I believe my higher self, I believe our higher self communicates to us through our emotions. Our
Mm,
emotions are like that warning signal that comes on in the car, letting you know, like, something's wrong, right?
mm,
And so it's what shows me my higher self is telling me I'm in alignment or out of alignment, right? Or,
right.
when I'm not feeling good or something doesn't feel right. Like those are all those emotions and the inner knowing piece. That's probably, I guess that's a long way to answer your question. I had to talk it out loud.
Hmm.
Is it's my inner knowing, which I feel in my body. And I always point to like my midsection because that's where I feel it. I'm always like, it's right here, down here. I feel
Hmm.
it.
Wow.
It's my inner knowing. That's what empowers me because that is the truth of who I am. I finally have come to realize. It's not, and I want to say, Jeff, who was on my show last night, and he had me rolling. One of our first conversations, he talked about, and you guys are going to love this. He said, we are infinity trying to fit inside of these meat suits.
Right. That is so true. That is
And
so
I'm like,
true.
I couldn't say it any better
Mhm.
or any more funny than that.
I literally, I just had a visual of like a Lady Gaga or something.
Yeah. Oh, in the
Like,
meat
that's
suit.
literally, yeah, that's literally just now what I got. Like, but it's really true. I mean, honestly, it is that. It's really that.
Yeah.
And
I always get the visual of if you guys saw that movie Men in Black. Did you guys see that movie?
yeah. Hmm.
And the scene of the big guy, the alien takes over his body. He's like walking, he's like
Yeah.
walking all like it's just not working for him. Like that's us. We're infinity inside of these meat suits.
It's really true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
we're
interesting because
limitless beings that are in this label, if you will, of being human, right?
yeah,
Hmm.
and in Judaism, we know and we say that we each have a godly spark within us. That it's a
Mm,
piece of God
love
that is
that.
within us, and essentially, God says, "I am that I am." Right,
Yes.
and like that to me, when you were talking about that, like
I
that's
am.
exactly what it is.
Hmm.
There's no labels. There's just being. There's God as He is. Now He has different names when He's doing different things. So if He's being merciful, we call Him by one title. If He's being judgmental. We call him by another title. But then for us, like, this is what I'm getting from you, is that for us, we have that godly spark within us. We are, like you said, infinite, trapped in this meat suit. It's the godliness is trying to get out and shine and do its purpose through us as the vehicle.
Right.
But we keep limiting ourselves with these beliefs and these titles and these labels and everything.
And I want to speak to that real quick. Something just came through is, people always talk about, I'm sure you've heard this, where they say, oh, we all have cracks, but that's where the light can get in. Right.
Right.
I'm like, no, we have cracks so the freaking light can get out.
Yeah.
I see it a different way.
I
see
agree.
it, the light wants to come out.
Yeah.
So we got to crack. We got to open. We got to do the work.